Yeah.
Mr. Nixon said he is not involved anymore, so the only source of information would be Ms. Rawls. But the critical thing, what we need to do is establish a time to talk with her and have her record her and basically get a mind on it. Because, I mean, we have to know where the plots are and who's been interned there and what plots have been sold and that, that people can be placed in.
Well, I spoke with her and Ms. Former Mayor Annie Doris, and they're gonna get with it and get a better handle on where people are. And hopefully we'll have something at the next council meeting, a better idea of how they're gonna be disposed of.
Isn't there a book in the city hall that has like the plots in them?
It is a book over there somewhere, I saw it.
Well, I
It
remember
was
seeing
in the, you didn't find it, Val?
They did find the book, but it doesn't have the plot per se in it. It has, there's a long piece of glass with the plots on it. But
It's not, it's a large map, it doesn't have all the plots. I mean, a couple of months ago, a person came in with the deed and their name was not on it. I mean, somewhere along the line, all the records have not been kept up to date. And the worst thing we want is to promise to intern somebody, and when they pick it up, it's being used.
Well, can we make an announcement, do some kind of social media or something, send out letters to the people that we know have families over there so that we can get a better idea of how to handle this, because this is a sentimental thing here.
I mean, that's one thing to begin about, get to the people, the issue comes, I guess the first question is the city responsible for the back section of the cemetery? And that was, as I understand, when we were trying to find out, that back section was owned by the Polgar group. The fact that that group doesn't exist anymore, doesn't mean the land has reverted to the city. So who owns that section? And then that's where the responsibility lies. Now, I think it's perfectly okay for the city to start taking responsibility to make sure things are done right. But we need to realize where the liability lies. Who is responsible for it.
Okay, and you want to tell them your idea as far as the new plots, anybody that hasn't purchased a.
Well, I mean, I think the best thing to do is talk to Ms. Rawls to find out who are the family members who have, as far as she knows, who have plots and who have been interning there, so we can make sure we have to start the database being built and see if we, by doing that, seeing if we have all the land accounted for.
Okay. Well, we won't prolong your time any more on that. That could go on for a while. So the streets, on streets, on Cabin, I think that's Cabin down by the Edwards, in front of the Pentecostal church. What are we gonna do about that pothole? That's just serious. We have to go out on that road, and today my car started shaking when I went over it. Kevin, yeah. It's been like that since we moved there.
The railroads that have come up over there, and St. Louis created a problem.
Well, last week, we had a big problem with the sewer line there. And we were digging it out and fixing it. I don't know whether that was the pothole or how it was there before, but it was okay.
Yeah, it's very old, because we've had our house almost 10 years, and it's a problem.
Okay, well, let me, since everybody's here, when you have it, please just tell us. The first time, I think that people died. Assuming it's also the first time I'm in.
Yeah. So being that we were on streets, I just decided. Okay, reports of special committees, no report. Old business, insurance policy.
We have collected copies of our insurance policies. There have been some questions that have been raised about what we do have in those policies. Question do we have as far liability insurance for directors and the members of the board.
That's right.
Being totally honest, when I looked through the policies, I did not see it.
That's the extra $30,000.
Right. It's actually apparently 30.
Yes.
No. So that would mean that we do not see a policy where we have that insurance. But as far as some other insurances standard.
But I don't quite
We didn't hear you.
understand you. I can't
Okay,
hear you.
there is a protection, you could purchase insurance that would protect you personally by a decision you make. We do not have that. So if you make a decision that somebody decides to sue you, they can sue you personally. And the city does not have insurance to cover you. So sitting on the board of the council, you're liable for the decisions you make if somebody decides to sue you personally.
Well, that's just the council members, or not the employees?
Well, they can sue, employees,
They cover.
the employees are not making those kinds of decisions. The employees are covered under a different policy. This is a council person's policy. That-
I guess we can table that and talk about it at the workshop. Discuss whether we have enough money to take care of that, and that's a council decision.
Mr. Bryan.
No, that's, there's a time for public participation.
I was told that I could ask this question.
I'm sorry, there's a time to do that.
Okay.
Sir?
Please do it under the
Public comment section.
Okay.
Excuse me.
The next on the agenda is the wastewater, so that's all, okay. And the freshwater, okay.
Clerk brigade.
Okay, and then adjustment of council committee assignments, I'm gonna take care of that because I've gotta speak to some of the council chairmen to see if they'd like to switch with my Councilwoman Georgia Wins. Consideration of annual Christmas party. It has my name, but
Mayor, may I ask a question?
yes.
Have there ever been any consideration for you allowing the councils to help do the committee, rather than you doing it all by
That's
yourself?
something that the mayor usually does, and I've been talking with Mr. Alpine about it.
Well, our manager
The
did it before.
council has never done that. We've always had either
The
a manager
manager did.
or either, but we don't have a manager.
I could be wrong, but usually it's the chairperson of the group that establishes the committees and the assignments. So that, because it's these are your committees, they're not the committees of the manager or the administrator. These are your committees, so you establish, usually established by the chairperson.
I thought so. Thanks for clearing that up. Okay, back to the consideration of the annual Christmas party.
I like to speak on it, if y'all don't mind. On the day that the meeting went by, I was willing to agree to the party. But it was never brought up, it was never mentioned, it was never, seconded, it never was voted on. The mayor called me and I told her that it was not voted on, it was not, had not been voted on, it was not approved. And I asked her not to do it. She told me that she had 4 council members and she was gonna do it anyway. She can do it. I said, well, okay. But your performance level is unacceptable. It's not, you can't.
We're not gonna go into that, but what we're gonna do,
Expect us to keep, it's not improving, it's got to improve. It has to improve.
I don't want to sound like,
I'm not
Trump.
going against you.
I don't want to
I
sound like
just
Trump.
want you
I thought
to
you was
do
finished.
things like it's supposed to be done. That's what I'm asking.
We don't do this, so we never discussed having a Christmas party.
I did not say we did not discuss it. It was never voted on. It was never approved. And that's the only thing that,
Was the money.
Right.
We had already established that we wanted to have it.
No,
But at this particular point in time, we say
No.
consideration of the annual, are you done with your statement?
yes.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, like I said, I don't want to sound like Trump and, other politicians in here, the debate and all that stuff. But Ms. Lizzie, and I did the prayer earlier that we make godly decisions. We act in the way that God will have us to act, and we are honest. And Ms. Minister, Councilwoman Lizzie Battle, you know that we did not talk about that. You know that you didn't say that on the phone. I have Ms. Valerie here. You called over there to the city hall, and you was trying to get Ms. Valerie to, you called Ms. Valerie and to speak to.
Why did I call Ms. Valerie?
Okay, we're not gonna interrupt. I waited on you to talk. I waited on you to talk. I asked Ms. Valerie to see if Mr. Bryan was in. Mr. Bryan, he wasn't in. And I don't know where this came up about the four members, but it was, to me, it was an oversight because we did discuss it in detail. We discussed as far as we paid $300 last year or 2014. I said that the costumes and everything was already over there and we may not need $300. We may not need as much. And we said something about $200. And so we got on something, one of your programs about a spring fling in February. So,
We had already
okay,
tabled
come
that.
on, I didn't interrupt you.
Don't lie then, girl.
Ma'am, I want to stop right here. There needs to be a basic respect for the council, for who's ever speaking, okay? And you keep your mouth shut until whoever speaks. Let them have their say. Don't cut one another off. It's just
I'm just asking
decent.
not to lie.
Ma'am, do you understand what I just said?
I hear you.
Well, I hope so. You're not, but you don't seem to understand.
I understand perfectly.
Well, you cut me off, and I'm asking you not to do that.
Yes.
Okay? You listen to the person finishes. You know, if I'm going to be your city attorney, there's going to be a basic respect of one for another.
And as I was saying, and I'm just trying to bring us back to that night so that we'll get an understanding and a clarification on what happened to distract us from making the vote. I remember we started talking about a spring fling in February. We mentioned to Councilwoman Lizzie Battle that we don't need to have a spring fling in February because spring is not in February. So we started, Mr. Lehman then advised us that there is a section for recreation on the agenda and we need to discuss that at that particular time. So I guess by us not finishing up, we're so used to interrupting, and I'm glad he made that statement. We're so used to interrupting, so we get sidetracked. So whenever it got to the recreation section, it wasn't voted on. We agreed to have the program, but my thing is, how are we gonna have a program if we're not gonna fund it? It was just a mere oversight, and I'm gonna let the other council members elaborate and maybe give their take on it.
May I point out here, what you need to do is this. This isn't rocket science. I don't know what the amount is. You need to know what the amount is. If you're going to approve it, you move to approve it in such amount. It needs to be second, and then you need to vote. If you want to discuss it, you vote and discuss it after the second. You haven't even got to the motion yet.
Okay.
So if there's going to be a motion, it may not even be a motion. And then if there's no motion, you don't need to discuss it. So if somebody moves, you need to understand, this is the way parliament procedure works. One of you makes a motion, somebody seconds it. They may or may not be in favor of it. That gets it on the table for discussion. After discussion is over, you vote.
Okay.
Yes or no.
Councilwoman Battle, since you're the chairman of the Recreation Department, we're gonna let you tell us how much each receipt was, or how much it was that we need to approve, or that we need to motion for. You can expound upon that.
Okay. As I remember,
No, we just need the total.
I'm gonna
and to
tell you,
accept it.
okay, don't.
I'm sorry, I was just clarifying.
As I remember, on that particular meeting, day, you told me that I did not have to bring it up. And that you would bring it up. So,
you took charge of it, and you had a spot. I got it in my paper. Well, he
Ma'am,
just said
I'm
give
gonna
a
make
total.
the point one more time.
I'm gonna
If
make
you're
a
going to
point.
act on this, make a
If I can't
motion,
talk,
make a motion, and
Don't-
get it on the
don't
table
break
for
me up.
discussion. You know, that's what we need to do. We don't need to debate it right now until we get a
You
motion.
cannot dog me in here.
Somebody
No, no,
needs
no.
to make a motion, one way or the other.
Okay, does anybody know the total? Anybody know the total? Ms. Karen, do you know the total?
Do you have a total from the newspaper?
We want you to make a motion.
You're the one, the total came from the recreation.
I motion to, okay, I motion to approve the balance that was left from the Christmas program.
Now, you also had somebody volunteering.
Exactly, I'm going to pound on that, whatever the difference is, because I think it was more than $140, but, you know, we'll get there, we'll get there, I guess.
Well,
We want you to make a motion for discussion.
Well, first out the motion, you said, first out the motion, I just motioned to approve the balance for the Christmas party, and I need a second.
it's been motioned and second that we approve the balance for the Christmas party. Is there, all in favor, or are there any questions?
Now it's
Any
discussion time. Now, I think you need to ascertain what you're talking about, whether it's
Right.
$120 or $180 or $300.
I think the balance was close to like 200, 190 something, I can't be sure.
No, it was, okay, one was 801, and if I'm not mistaken, the Flowers Bakery was 45 something, and then Dollar Tree was 93 something, but
We have receipts for almost $200.
all the receipts were in there. And then the young ladies whose equipment we used,
We don't have that.
they're not gonna even, being that it was such a chaotic situation, they're not even wanna even charge. They just said they had a good time and,
Okay, so what I'm understanding here is if you vote to approve this, you will vote to approve an expenditure of up to $200 for the Christmas party. That's the issue, and if you want to debate it, now's the time to debate it. Now you know how much you're gonna spend. Well, wait, she's in charge now. I'm just trying to I want you to get this motion in front of the group so
Okay.
you can debate and know what you're talking about.
Before we move on that, we did have a citizen that was gonna, I guess, pay that amount, so that we don't have any taxpayers saying, well, that's my money, that, you know, the city is gonna slap on the hand about. I mean, if we could accept that, if whatever I'm not sure how much the amount was.
So, Ms.
Because
Karen-
we don't want any taxpayers saying, this is our money, that you pocket somebody on the hand. That'd be okay.
So, Ms. Kemper, are you, saying that you'll pay the entire amount?
$120 that was paid in
Okay, so that's, she's gonna pay 140.
I
Okay.
think it
About
was
$60 remaining.
Yeah, so this
Pardon?
is the.
It's approximately $60. If she pays $140, approximately $60 left to be paid.
what else was it besides the 3 receipts?
Excuse me?
That-
What else
that's
was
it.
it besides the
That's
3
it.
receipts?
That's all I have, 3 receipts, and they total just about $200.
Oh,
This young lady said she
there.
was,
Is someone else just stating that they're doing the balance, to make, that we pay the whole?
Okay.
citizens agreed to pay the whole thing.
Praise God.
Okay.
So we don't even have a motion.
Don't need a motion? Okay. Well, the citizens are gonna pay what was spent for the Christmas program, so we're gonna move on so that the taxpayers, won't have any responsibility for that. So, new business, thank y'all. New business, resolution to approve Southwest Georgia Regional Commission appointment.
Yes, this is, done once a year, and for the Southwest Georgia Regional Commission, the county has appointed 2 persons for what they call the non-public safety. One is Donnie Baggett, the other is Gene Bridgeton, and all of the cities in the jurisdiction of Thomas County vote on these appointments. I am asking for a motion that we accept the appointments of both Donnie Baggett and Gene Bridgeton to serve a 1-year term on the Southwest Georgia Regional Commission. I cannot make a motion, so the motion has to be made by somebody else.
What's the other one?
Johnny Baggett and who?
Jenny Crennan.
Gene Bridgeton.
Is there a motion
I
on the
really
table?
didn't understand you.
Okay, on the Southwest, I used to be on the Southwest Georgia Regional Commission, come and talk to you all. Okay, what happens is there are 4 slots. Two of them,
I think four spots.
there are 4 slots.
Slots.
Slots, positions. 2 of them are automatic. One is the chairperson of the Board of Commissioners of the county. The other one is the mayor of Thomasville. There are 2 non-public slots. Those are appointed by you and the other 5 or 6 jurisdictions. Thomas County usually starts the process. We have selected 2 people. And then I was selected years ago. I served about 3 or 4 years. I couldn't serve once I do a little work here. So what happens is, what we're asking is for you to approve the 2 names, Donnie Baggett and Jeannie Britton. And that, so therefore we can continue with the appointments at that board. When it takes a motion, right, somebody.
Do we have a motion on the table to accept the resolution to approve the Southwest Georgia Regional Commission appointments, Donnie Baggett and Jeannie Crittenden?
Yes, I'll make a motion.
I second the motion. That they already done, the city of Thomasville on approval.
No, we have to approve. We're gonna move on.
The city has already started
The
playing.
county has, and the other cities I have not asked.
I have no problem.
Okay, it's been motioned by Councilman Jimmy Layton and second by Councilwoman Lizzie Battle that we accept the appointments for the Southwest Georgia Regional Commission for Donnie Baggett and Jeannie Crittenden. All in favor, let's know by the word aye, show of hands. Pass unanimously. The next on the agenda is resolution to appoint Jimmy Layton to certifying officer for the community.
What happens on the grant, you need to have a council member who is a, what they call a certified officer. So where I recommended that we use Jimmy Layton, and it's simply, again, a resolution that you would make a motion that Jimmy Layton serves as a certified officer for the CBD grant.
Yeah, CBDB.
Right.
Okay.
CBD grants.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table to certify Councilman Jimmy Layton as the community officer.
And I second.
It's been motion and second that we accept Jimmy Layton as the certified officer for the committee for the development block grants. All in favor, let us know by the word aye and show of hands. Any opposes? The same. Councilman Dorothy Lim, are you?
You
voting?
both say aye.
Are you, okay, Ms. Eva. Pass unanimously. Okay, workforce 44 application.
Okay, Workforce 44 is a project where we will be able to take a person for 12 weeks, paid for by Workforce 44 to work with us in the office. I made an application for what's called a office assistant to help us answer the telephone, do filing, do copying, support us just generally in the office and all the things that we kind of do there. We have to, the position is open to anybody who is 18 years and older and who is unemployed. If anybody is interested in applying, they can come by, give me their name, and I'll make sure that the name gets up to the people in Miller. Right now, when I talked to them, I guess it was last week, they didn't have anybody in the pipeline, so if there's anybody here that's interested, anybody you know of, 18 years old, unemployed, and they will be paid for 12 weeks at $9 an hour, and they'll be working in our office to help us clean up some of the back projects that we have to do.
So then, this application,
We don't have to do anything until we hopefully get a candidate.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Okay, the next on the agenda is information on the history development project.
I did have some, this project, I came up with, one day I was over at the city hall, and there was some, I actually went to the back of the city hall, and there is a lot lot of, I say, history that's in the back. I did talk to Mr. Bryan about it, found some pretty cool books, old books back there that has a lot of Meigs history. Trying to put this project together and also have some citizens to work on it. But, it's gonna take getting it in the back of the city hall, to clean it up. I'm sorry, cause I'm tired from my car accident, I'm kinda dizzy a little bit, but, if any citizens want to, I mean, I would be glad that anybody can come up. I do have, like, a lot of old photos, myself and my grandparents, to put in there, and just turn this back of the city hall into a museum. With some of the archive information, the history of it.
So you're just gonna use like the right side, or you gonna,
It's
you know,
the back part.
the back?
Mind you, I mean, that used to be the old train depots.
Okay. I think we all wanna discuss it further, table it, and talk about that workshop, because there are a lot of old, a lot of memorabilia over there.
Let me tell you, down the road, Alicia, they 1950,
Okay,
and
so
that would be cheap, provided us a bad instruction.
all right, so that's tabled for the workshop. City manager position,
Yeah, I've been here for approximately 2 months, and I've an awful lot about Meigs. I have a good idea of where things need to be fixed. But to be honest, it cannot be done part-time. I mean, I started developing into it, and the more you add, the more you have to do. If you need to have a full-time person, I cannot do it full-time. I love the kind of commitment that I just mentioned. So what you need to start doing is looking for a full-time person, because it cannot be done on a part-time basis. And believe me, it's, when I say it cannot be done on a part-time basis, it cannot be done on 40 hours a week. It's gonna be a lot of hours and a lot of love. So I'm gonna develop a job description for you, that you can start looking over and decide how you wanna post it. So you can get a person in that will be with you, but you just can't do it. And I've been trying, but it's just, I need more time, and I'm not able to give that time.
so I guess we, set a workshop issue, talk about that at the workshop. And the table it for, is that March 14th? Okay, and when we do this, the city manager position, when we talk about it, and we'll discuss it at the workshop, how we need to, if we're gonna have a city manager, you know, we got to, think about changing the charter, because that stuff is gonna kind of conflict. So, we need to think about, overlook your, before the workshop, overlook your city administrator and the city manager, and decide what you want to talk about, which one you want to have. Okay, now, public comment.
May I say something before you get started on the public comment? Good evening, everybody. I would just like to say all due respect to our mayor. I would like to say I've been on this council for some time now, and I've never had a problem like I've had these last 5 years. I'd like to make it known that I did vote for our mayor, and all due respect to her, because I know she's not gonna resign, but I, as Councilman Dorothy Williams, is asking that we vote our mayor out. She's been recalled, she can be voted out.
Well, that was like a public comment area, and not for the council, but we're gonna
I
move
just
on.
wanted
We're
to
not
put
gonna
it
make
out
it
there that I
difficult.
made a motion.
I didn't hear the motion.
She wants to,
I
want me to
said I'd
step
like
down.
to, okay, I redo it. Can I redo
I
it?
didn't hear the motion, you said you made a motion, I just.
I, Dorothy Williams, Councilman Dorothy Williams, would like to make a motion to vote our mayor out of her position. She has been recalled already, and it passed in Thomasville. Now I'm asking that we vote her out as council members.
There's a way to do that, and that's not the way to do it.
Okay, tell me how you want it done. Tell me how you want it done.
That's not something we'll talk about right now, but if you wanna know, you can
Well, I
call
was
me and
told
I
by
will
the
tell you.
manager to do it right now, this time. That's why I did it.
You can read the charter and as well as I.
I was told by Mr. Brown, this was my time to do it.
Okay, well, we're gonna
I'm
talk
sorry, I
with them.
apologize, I was told to do it now.
We're gonna talk with the city attorney, because,
There's a way to do that, and if you wanna do it, you can try. But, you know, there's a way, the charter sets it out, and your code of ordinances set that out.
I apologize, but I was told by him to do it when he finished.
so there's gonna be, okay.
No, I did not say that. I just-
Order, we're gonna keep it cordial, we're gonna keep it professional and diplomatic, okay? So, you will have, we'll get with you on that, Mr. London, because you're gonna have two applications.
She'll get it.
Okay, okay. Public comment. Public, not comment. Just whenever you come up, please give us your name.
My name is Calvin. I would ask the council, is our chief supposed to work every day for the city of Meigs?
To be inclined to, that's not something that is really, you should.
Okay, should be
We'll let
working.
the, and then we'll let the chairman of the police department.
Should he, chief can work for the city of Meigs every day, a week or, we have time off. So that, he can work elsewhere.
I'm not really understanding the course is called.
Yeah, he's of course. He's saying, is our chief of police, does he have certain hours, or is he off during the day where he can go and work somewhere else? What is our policy?
I gotta honestly tell you, I don't know. I have no idea what his schedule is, when he works, when his officers work, what they do. I'm sorry, right now I'm at that point that I don't know. I intend to find out if he'll talk to me and communicate with me, but I don't know right now. I can't, I'm sorry.
But we are planning on setting those things, in part. We are, working on reorganizing everything at the city hall. So those are some things that we are taking into consideration, and we are going to implement those things in the reorganization plan, so.
Do you have a reason for saying that?
Well, my reason for saying it is because when I come through there in the afternoon sometimes, he's on duty, for Coolidge Police Department over in Coolidge. So, he should be here working, or he should be over there working. Because I know he's working over there, and I feel like he should be here because he's the chief of, police for Meigs. So, my thing is, why is he working over there when he should be here? I feel like he should be here. He's our chief.
So money should be enough. But again,
Okay.
Well, I don't know who approved that. It used to be that the chief of police had to, more or less, this was his main priority. He did not take on another job when I first get the council approved. And his first responsibility was the city of Meigs. If he got called, he had to, come and drop everything. No, at one time, they were like, they had to live here, and, because I had them kind of problems, when I had to move here. I can remember all that stuff children I went through. And, I don't know what, I think that the chief said something about he had gotten approval from the previous city manager, Councilman Williams. Do you know anything about that? Do you like me? Because I don't really know all that happened before I came on.
Well, what we're gonna do is, we do have an executive session on the agenda, and rather than, be subjected to, any uncredible information that we give out. We're gonna discuss it. We'll discuss that in an executive session, and hopefully we'll be able to come back with some information. So right now, it's just kind of different opinions and different, some people know about it, some people don't know about the policies and procedures that were, the chief was hired under, but we will discuss that. And hopefully, at the next council meeting, or whenever we do the new descriptions or whatever, policies, we will have all of that information. So that all council members, so that if you or anybody else approach the council and ask that question, the council is supposed to be able to answer that for you. But right now, that information is incomplete, but at the next council member meeting, we should have it taken care of with, policies and procedures.
Another thing, shouldn't all the employees have a contract, criminal background, should all that be submitted?
All of that's gonna be taken care of with, restructuring.
Another thing, can we get a mic speaker here when someone's up here, because sometimes I go off the air, I can't hear.
That's not good, no. Just, we kind of hear you, so we'll try to work that out.
My last,
Last thing,
about the building across the street, I mean, that's a sewer. When people come through here, you see that big gaping hole over there in that building? I mean, we should have something done about that. I feel we should have something done about it. It's bad enough that we don't have any business throughout our city, other than the city hall, the post office, and the restaurant, post office.
and as Mr. Al stated, the city administrator job, the city manager job is a full-time thing. So that'll take us going back to finding out who owns that property and making ordinances when it pertains to that type issue. So we're gonna, take your, some suggestions in consideration, and we're gonna work on it. But like you said, it's a lot of other things. We're trying to get our budget straightened out and get the policies and procedures. It's a lot going on right now. But, you know, he's doing a really good job, and, but that's, with the block grant, we can maybe see if we can get grants. Because at one time, we had a resolution with, Mayor Burns from Atlanta, but, you know, it fell through. So, but hopefully we can get that grant back, community development grant, so we can get something, if they turn that property over to us, but it has to be turned over to us, or either they get an ordinance to fix it up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Mr. Nim? Oh.
This might be kind of strange, but I wonder, is anybody in here have any trouble hearing as much as I do?
Well, that's what he just said.
I have been here and out. And other than when the city attorney got irritated and chastised the councilman, that's all I have heard. I have not heard one word he has said.
Really? Well, you may have a hearing.
I do have a hearing problem, that's true. And I just wondered if it was just me or if anyone else had trouble hearing. You ladies had to come here a while ago. I hear something.
Well, he's more soft-spoken than we are, so.
I just wondered, is there any problem in raising your voice when you are speaking?
Well, maybe we need to take that in consideration about the microphone.
When we're saying anything, raise your voice and speak clearly and distinctly and slowly, then everyone can hear.
That's a good idea. That's a good
Okay,
suggestion.
they don't use for me to come here if I can't hear anything. And I haven't heard one clarity word since I've been here.
And that's a valid, point, because I've been to,
Everybody makes a conscious effort to speak up. Say what you have to say, and everybody can hear. And one other thing I have against you, council members, is that y'all get to talking among yourselves. And you whisper.
that's why I asked them if they'll speak up so we
You know,
can
y'all,
hear.
Sometimes we try to
don't
make
know what you're deciding.
things situated straight.
Okay.
Not trying to
Well,
make
maybe,
nobody.
Mr. Al, do you think, that's something that I thought about too, having a mic for the person speaking, so. But anybody else, public comments?
Hi, I'm Shaniqua Fulton. Yes, the mayor is my mother, but I just had a question that I want to ask Ms. Murphy. Will the better story be printed in the paper? Because as far as the Christmas card, I was here when they had that whole discussion. And yes, they get off on a tangent, but I did overhear that it would be a $200 limit. And as far as, because it's been several occasions that you mentioned something that she's done personal and for her family. But what I want to let you know is that wasn't done for her family. And I just would like to know, are you gonna print a better story about it, being that there's so much positivity going on about it? I'm just asking a question.
And there were,
I mean, I'm just trying to, I'm asking because it's been several occasions you've involved my family and my child, my daughter. And that wasn't approved. I just want to say, if you're gonna print something, print the truth. Thank you.
I know the situation with Christian Coleman. He's supposed to be resolved right now. Yeah, anyway, I know it's supposed to be resolved already, so the citizen paying for it. I was raised here, but I don't live here now. But I came down here to visit my family for that Christmas event. And before I come here, I mean, when I got here, she would have the Santa Claus, so I had to be the Santa Claus at this Christmas event. And I'm not that side. Anyway, on a serious note, I came here, there were several kids here. We had a great time. I mean, we gave them good gifts or whatever, you know. And all the kids, I mean, they had a great time. Sat there for over, 3 hours, you know. It was something I didn't want to do, come here. I was came here to visit my family, you know, but she needed a Santa Claus. I volunteered my time to do that, you know. So I don't see what the big deal is for, if you got receipts to show that you did this event or whatever. I mean, I don't see what the big deal is to take that treasure of those kids that night, you know, from them with some negative information like that. You know?
Right.
I just don't see it, you know. Like I said, I didn't come here to do that, but for the kids, I did. And that's my sister. My name is Katie, so that's my sister. And I know what type of person she is. She's for the kids, for the betterment of Meigs. And she asked me to do it, and I said, no problem, you know, to help those kids to have a Santa Claus that night.
It was not, the point that she had the program, it was the point that it was not approved.
Oh, I understand that part, but just, you know, I got videos and everything of that event that night, you know, it was a great night. I enjoyed myself.
and Ms. Catherine McNeil, you was there too.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. Everybody was invited, I guess, you know, but those there, who were there, they had a great time.
And we've taken care of it, without the taxpayer money, so, we're gonna move on. Next
I'm
person.
Norma Ross. I live here in Meigs, and I just like to say to the council, if you don't like Melanie, if you're not pleased with her, move. Get on the council. I've been coming here, I haven't seen a darn contact nobody. So if you don't like what's going on, no. We talking about Melanie. Look just as good as all y'all sitting up there at that place. It's in meetings, and before we can get out the door, everybody may know what you're talking about. So, be yourself. Don't criticize nothing. Every time you turn around and talk about nothing. Never heard you say, Lord have mercy on me. Not a towel upon her. She didn't put herself in that chair. We elected her in that chair. And if you don't like it, move. Maybe here when he where you coming, he gonna be here when you leave.
Very well said.
Anybody else? sections.
I'm back on a lighter note, if you don't mind, and here, my name is Margaret Mitchell. Been in this community for many years, as my family, it was since the early 1800s, so, you were talking about the, all that history right there. I would like to be one of the people that, if you know, when you're doing that, I would like to be involved in that. So, I would like to come back, or
Just combine.
so just come by whenever we started. So, this is something I believe I could, I would like to do. Thank you.
Anybody else? Public comment?
Mayor, council, whenever you start the vision committee for the city, I'll be the first volunteer for the city behalf, for that vision committee. I do believe that Meigs will prosper. We are in that way. The vision is an outcast for the city in the future, and it's promising. So we'll be on that, we'll be a part of that.
Thank you. Any more public comment section? This is the time to speak. As she said, let's don't go outside the doors and talk about it. Let's talk about it here.
Well, my name is Miss Mary Holton, and I'm pretty young, it's just like a daughter of mine. You know, I go up down here, morning, I get the paper, read the paper, sit out in my car, I read it over and over and over, and I should be telling myself, I said, Lord, they need to just let that child alone and let her go ahead and do her time, and if they want to get the seat, they get it. Because in my mind, I don't believe she doing no more than nobody else are doing, and we all done been here, we just ain't been caught. And not the so he go about there, throwing the hand, throwing the rock high in the hand.
That's right.
But, like I said, I just wish they'd just leave her alone, cause I had told my son, I be coming up and he said, don't go up there for no way. Now, I ain't work, I ain't fair work, but he takes my back and sit back. But see, I got daughters, I got one daughter now, I had two daughters, I got one daughter now, but I got granddaughters, and I know how I would feel if every time I turn around, but they, the name being paid. So all y'all that got children, need to think about it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Not that I'm asking because these good things are being said about me, but anybody else?
Oh my goodness.
Obviously, if you want to keep your name out of the paper, the best way to do it is obey the law.
And that's what I try to do. I try to obey the law. And I do want to say something about that, if I may. And I know that time is, we have an executive session, so I'm going to hurry up with this. But I do want to say, in reference to all of that they're saying, and y'all know, like they said, I've been in the paper 4 times. I apologize for that. I'm not apologizing because I'm guilty. Because I must pat myself on the back. I'm one of the most honest persons you won't see. That's why I ran for mayor, because things were being stolen. When I was investigated, I asked. I've been arrested 4 times. We have proof that someone has stolen something. And I asked, what are y'all going to do about that? You have the proof. Oh, the G.B.R. has it. So my thing is, if you're asking for receipts, we need to go back and ask for all the receipts. But my thing is, the G.B.R. has some information on some stuff. It's been going on 3 years. Nothing's been done, but I've been arrested 4 times in the last 2 years. I'm going on 3, so, you know, I just apologize, but I'm not the, like she said, I'm not the guilty one. I wanted them to do a forensic audit and get the people who have stolen money, because that ain't me. I'm not a thief. I am not a thief. That's one thing my dad did not play. And I'm going to deal with that. And next thing on the agenda is executive session.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
It's been motion and second that we go into an executive session. All in favor?
Some things.